Hi, this is Matthew Paulson with Analyst Ratings Network. I wanted to take a moment to show you the premium version of our daily email newsletter, ARN Daily Premium. The premium edition of ARN Daily gets sent out 30 minutes before the market opens, and the second edition is sent out at 4 p.m. Eastern that contains a wrap-up of the day's ratings and earnings. So I wanted to give you a tour of what the premium edition of ARN Daily looks like. At the top of each newsletter, you'll get a list of some of the top stories for each day. That's right here. So below that, you'll see your watch list. You can add as many stocks or as few stocks as you want to your watch list, and we'll send you some additional information about each stock that you follow every day. So for example, I follow Apple. Here is the closing price for today. This would be the afternoon edition, whether it went up or down and by how much. There is a quick link to Google Finance, and then a link to get a full ratings history for the stock. So here is Apple's kind of rating history. So we have ratings dating back to 2010. We've tracked several hundred for Apple, and we have a database of more than 125,000 stock ratings. So you see Apple had a rating here today. There was a press release that mentioned Apple, several news stories that mentioned Apple, so those are there. Let's scroll down to Boardwalk Pipeline Partners. They announced their earnings today, so here's some information about their numbers. Then there is a link to the full earnings release. They also declared a dividend, so there's some information about that and some headlines for the stock. So scrolling down, I also follow Google. So there were a couple of insider trades today that we tracked. So there is information about that, and then a link to the kind of the full SEC filing of that. So some more headlines for Google. At Hotels, they released earnings as well, or actually they are going to release earnings in a couple of days from now from when I record this. So there's a link so you can register for the conference call and actually listen to it live when it comes out. And then finally there is a rating for Wells Fargo. It's an upgrade, $42 price target. Then there's an excerpt from the research note that we had available, so we included that as well. So here's kind of the main section of upgrades and downgrades in your newsletter every day. So you see what the brokerage is, or what they did, the stock ticker, the company, what the rating was, what it is now, what the price target was, what it is now, and kind of what the upside from the current price is. So I'm going to scroll down. You see the downgrades for the day. Keep going down. If they didn't upgrade or downgrade the stock and just change the price target, we include that in this section. The new coverage, so if the company started covering a new stock, we'll put that in this section. They just changed their EPS estimates. It's there, and if they didn't change anything, but they feel the same way about the stock, that's in the reiteration section. So scrolling down, here's some more information about earnings announcements that are sent out every day as part of your newsletter. So you can see that a company, American Capital, released earnings. So they hit their estimate of 26 cents per share, and that's good, and their year-over-year revenue growth was 12.5%. So here's today's ratings, here's yesterday's ratings, and that is kind of what makes up the newsletter. I wanted to take a moment to show you some of the settings as well that you have available. So there's kind of my basic account information. Here are some of the settings. If you only want the morning edition, you can do that. If you only want the afternoon edition, you can do that. Most people get both. So you can get headlines about your stocks. I have that turned on in the sample I showed you. If you want some more information, headline descriptions, you can turn that on, so that'll give you the first few sentences of kind of the story. If you want some more technical data, you can turn on price metrics, and you have the option to receive it in a table format that I just showed you, or you can also receive your newsletter in a sentence format, and that's kind of what ARN Daily Basic is. So here's my watch list. And the cool thing about the watch list is you can enable instant alerts for your stocks. So whenever there is a rating change, an earnings announcement, a dividend, a guidance update, we'll send you an email and let you know about it. So that way, hopefully, you'll be able to act before the market, does. So what you do to add a new stock, you would just scroll down here. Let's say I want to follow Barclays, so they're traded in London. So I do London, BARC, that's their ticker. I would add the stock right there, and then let's say I also wanted to get instant alerts for it. I would just click enable instant alerts, and then now that is set up. So if I were to let's see. If I were to generate a fresh copy of my newsletter, which you can do any time of the day on the Analyst Ratings Network website, you can get a fresh copy of your newsletter. It'll now show Barclays as part of my watch list. So that's ARN Daily Premium. I hope you'll consider subscribing. I think it's a great service. I read it every day, and I hope that you will too. Thanks.